Days of Our Lives fans, buckle up. The coming weeks will bring shocking revelations, identity swaps, and a race against time to expose the truth. Gabi Hernandez demands a DNA test to prove Rafe Hernandez's true identity after a dramatic imposter scandal unfolds. But with EJ Demera determined to cover his tracks, things are about to get a lot more complicated. Let's dive into the chaos and uncover what's next in Salem. Gabi Hernandez is not one to sit back and accept the unbelievable. When suspicions about Rafe's true identity arise, she immediately goes into action, determined to uncover the truth. She demands a DNA test, knowing it's the only way to put all doubts to rest. But what should have been a straightforward process quickly spirals into a tangled web of deception, with none other than EJ Demera pulling the strings. As Duel fans know, EJ has been orchestrating this elaborate charade from the very beginning, making sure that the truth remains hidden at all costs. Kristen Demera even proposed using Dr. Wilhelm Rolf's memory-erasing serum to wipe away any recollection of Rafe and Ava Vitali's abduction. While Ava was saved before she could be injected, EJ made sure Rafe wasn't as lucky. In a shocking turn of events on the February 21st episode, Rafe and EJ engage in a tense struggle over the syringe, but in the chaos, Rafe ends up being injected with the powerful serum. The consequences are immediate and severe. The drug doesn't erase Rafe's memories completely, but it distorts them, leaving him unable to recall critical events. He's disoriented, confused, and worst of all, incapable of proving his own innocence. As EJ watches his plan unfold, it becomes clear, Rafe is now a pawn in his dangerous game, and unless someone intervenes, he may never reclaim his true identity. Rafe's nightmare has only just begun. Though the drug injected into him by EJ doesn't completely erase his memory, it distorts and fractures his recollection of key events. He finds himself unable to recall who kidnapped him or why, leaving him grasping at fleeting images of shadows and voices that make no sense. Even more terrifying, he doesn't even remember being abducted at all. To Rafe, one moment he was in the midst of chaos, and the next, he was abandoned, confused, disoriented, and utterly helpless. He knows something is wrong, but he can't put the pieces together. Worse yet, no one around him believes he is who he claims to be. Meanwhile, Arnold Feniger, the mastermind behind the imposter swap, faces his own reckoning. Rita Leslie, acting on direct orders from EJ, doesn't hesitate to neutralize the loose end. With a calculated move, she uses a high-voltage taser on Arnold, rendering him unconscious. But what will happen next? Will Arnold be discreetly shipped back to Argentina, never to be seen again? Or will EJ find a more sinister way to keep him hidden, ensuring that his secrets die with him? With Arnold out of the picture and the real Rafe back in Salem, EJ's plan is nearly airtight. But there's one final stroke of brilliance. Because of Rafe's scrambled memories, even he isn't sure what is real anymore. He remembers being Rafe, but the missing gaps in his mind make it impossible for him to prove anything. Now, he's trapped in a twisted reality where everyone around him questions whether he is truly himself or if he's just Arnold playing a desperate con. This sets the stage for an intense struggle, as Rafe fights not only for his identity but for his very sanity. But with no evidence, no memory, and no allies who believe him, will he be able to convince anyone before it's too late? Stephanie Johnson can't shake the feeling that something is off about Rafe. His mannerisms are subtly different, his speech patterns slightly altered, and his reactions not quite what she remembers. She watches him closely, taking mental notes, and soon realizes that the man before her doesn't seem like the real Rafe Hernandez. But with Arnold Feniger now mysteriously missing and no concrete proof to support her growing suspicions, she finds herself grasping at straws, desperate to prove what her instincts are telling her. As Stephanie pieces together small but telling inconsistencies, she realizes that Rafe is struggling with gaps in his memory. He seems confused about certain past events and unsure of relationships he should remember clearly. Meanwhile, EJ Demera is 2 steps ahead, ensuring that Arnold is erased from the picture entirely. With Arnold out of sight, EJ skillfully presents Rafe as a confused, unstable man whose claims of an imposter sound increasingly far-fetched. The more Rafe tries to assert his true identity, the more unreliable he appears in the eyes of those around him. The master manipulator strikes again. EJ's latest scheme ensures that Rafe has no way to prove that the imposter swap ever happened. And with his memories distorted by Dr. Rolf's serum, even Rafe himself struggles to distinguish reality from the deception that has been forced upon him. Stephanie knows that time is running out. If she doesn't act fast, Rafe could end up permanently losing everything: his credibility, his freedom, and even his sense of self. But will she find the evidence she needs before EJ's plan is fully cemented? Or is Rafe doomed to be trapped in a web of lies with no escape? Despite the chaos swirling around her, Gabi Hernandez refuses to back down. She is relentless in her pursuit of the truth and will not allow EJ Demera's deception to stand. With her brother's freedom and identity at stake, she takes decisive action, determined to prove that the man in front of her is indeed the real Rafe Hernandez. Knowing that words alone won't be enough, she demands a DNA test to settle the matter once and for all. Gabi wastes no time and turns to Dr. Kayla Johnson for help, insisting on using her own DNA as a sibling match against Rafe's. This test will be the defining moment, the key to exposing the truth and unmasking any lingering deception. However, she knows that EJ is a master manipulator, capable of influencing outcomes in ways few can predict. What if he has already anticipated her move? Could he have someone on the inside ready to alter the results before she even sees them? This is the ultimate high-stakes gamble. If the test confirms Rafe's identity, it will shatter EJ's carefully constructed scheme and restore Rafe's place in Salem. But if the results are tampered with, Gabi might find herself caught in an even deeper conspiracy. She believes she is closing in on the truth, but she also knows that in Salem, victory is never guaranteed. As she awaits the results, one question looms over everything: will she finally expose EJ's lies, or has he once again managed to stay one step ahead? As the tangled web of deception unravels, there is growing hope that Rafe's fragmented memories will begin to resurface. The effects of Dr. Rolf's serum are unpredictable, and while his recollection remains foggy, fleeting flashes of the past may be his key to uncovering the truth. If Rafe can piece together the puzzle of his abduction, he could finally expose EJ and hold him accountable for his sinister plot. But time is not on his side. As he fights to regain control of his mind, EJ continues to execute his manipulative schemes with ruthless precision. The clock is ticking, and the longer Rafe remains in this disoriented state, the more power EJ has to cover his tracks. But will EJ's luck finally run out? Gabi's relentless pursuit of the truth is closing in on him, Stephanie's suspicions are growing stronger, and the possibility of Rafe regaining his full memory looms like a ticking time bomb. With every move EJ makes, the pressure intensifies. He has evaded justice before, but this time, with so many forces working against him, he may finally find himself trapped. Will Rafe's returning memories be the key to taking EJ down once and for all? Or will the master manipulator find yet another way to slip through the cracks? The answers lie in the weeks ahead, and the stakes have never been higher. The tension in Salem has never been more explosive. Rafe's identity is still in question, with his mind clouded by Dr. Rolf's serum and EJ's manipulative tactics keeping him trapped in a web of deceit. Meanwhile, Gabi Hernandez refuses to back down, determined to uncover the truth no matter the cost. As she fights to prove Rafe's true identity, EJ is working just as hard to cover his tracks, ensuring that no one can trace the deception back to him. With every move, the battle between truth and lies grows more intense, pushing Salem's residents to their limits. But the DNA test could be the game changer. Will it finally expose EJ's sinister plan, or has he already put safeguards in place to ensure the results fall in his favor? And what about Rafe? Can he regain his memories in time to exonerate himself, or will his mind remain a fractured puzzle, manipulated beyond repair? One wrong move could send him deeper into legal jeopardy, leaving him with no way to fight back. And then there's EJ. For years, he has been the mastermind of countless schemes, always staying one step ahead of his enemies. But is his luck finally running out? With Gabi closing in, Stephanie growing more suspicious, and Rafe potentially regaining his memories, the walls are starting to close in on one of Salem's most notorious schemers. Could this finally be the moment where EJ is exposed for the manipulator he is, or will he find yet another way to slip through the cracks? One thing is certain, Days of Our Lives fans won't want to miss what happens next. The stakes are higher than ever, and Salem is on the brink of yet another game-changing revelation that could shake the town to its core. What do you think will happen next? Will EJ finally face justice, or will he manage to escape yet again? Can Rafe regain his memories before it's too late? Let us know your predictions in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more Days of Our Lives breakdowns. The drama is only getting started.